Well, I moved to Canada with my family a year ago. I've been an artist for probably about 30 years, so I've been showing mainly in Britain, but I've shown in Italy and Belgium as well, but mostly Britain. And I've done a mixture of group shows and solo shows over the years, and I've been in magazines. I've was featured on television, a TV show in the UK for a little while. I've been on BBC Radio, things like that. So we moved to Canada, and this is kind of like a new start for us. And being new here, this is my first exhibition. The idea of the exhibition is to introduce myself to the art community here in Victoria and to show people what I do and hope that people like what I do and are interested, and try and generate some more shows and make some contacts and all the usual things that artists want to get out of a show, some sales and that kind of thing.
Can you talk a little bit about the type of work that you do, how you describe it, what do you call, what are the materials that you use?
Well, I kind of make 4 different types of art, which are all a little bit separate but all kind of interconnected. So I trained as a potter, so I started with the ceramic pieces, which I really quite like making. They're quite small and intimate, but they're kind of fun and they have a slightly animated feel to them, quite influenced with sort of Victorian mechanical machines and things, and H.G. Wells novels and Jules Verne, that kind of thing. That's where the ceramic pieces come from. But I've been making boxed art as well ever since I can remember, really. I was kind of influenced as a child by Joseph Cornell, who I loved his work from childhood right all the way through to my adult life, so he's been kind of an influence on some of the box pieces that I make. But I also trained, I did my master's degree in outsider art, so outsider artists are a huge kind of influence on my life and the work that I produce. So there's clearly evidence of that coming through in the pieces that I make. Some pieces are much more obvious and some pieces less so. But the pieces that I make are made from things that I find. They're made from objects that have been discarded, broken things that most people would perhaps just throw away. I tend to find an interest in the shape or the form. Some pieces will evolve from one particular small object, when the whole piece will evolve around that object. Other pieces just start spontaneously. There's no real kind of plan behind them. They just kind of start to form together, just bring pieces together and think, well, that kind of works for me, and then add extra pieces, and then I might put the piece away, and it might be a year or 2 years or 5 years before I bring that piece out again and continue with it. It just depends on where I get to with the piece and whether I feel it's finished or not finished. So they evolve differently. And I also, the other 2 things I do, which I haven't, one which I've included in an installation here, are the illustrations that I draw. I do these pen and ink drawings, and I've got one piece that's kind of set up on a slideshow within a box, because I make boxed art, and it's cycling through about 160 illustrations. And that's how I found that was a good way to kind of display them in such a small gallery space. The other thing I do, which is not part of this exhibition, is I also make furniture. The furniture I make is kind of fun, it's colourful, it's kind of an extension of the boxed pieces because it's made from discarded things. Sometimes the pieces are made completely new, but made to look like they're not completely new. And they're made from objects and things that I find and I incorporate into them. The furniture sometimes will often have lighting in. I try and incorporate like speakers, like Bluetooth speakers, so that it may be a sideboard or a table or something, or a desk, but then you can play music through the piece of furniture itself. And sometimes with the furniture I'll also build in like a little secret box or compartment or something into the furniture that is not obvious, and I might put a message in that. So the owner may find that in 5 or 6 years' time, they might just suddenly think, hey, what's this? And then there's a little message from me in that box, which I always think is kind of a neat thing to do. And I'd love to be the fly on the wall when they find that sometimes.
Talking about the show, how long is the show going to be here?
The show's here for a week. It was set up really as a kind of an introductory show to introduce me to the arts community here. Yeah. And I'm going to be here every day, so if anyone wants to come and talk to me about the work, I want to be on hand to chat to people.
The hours
Sorry?
The hours
12 till 5, it'll be Monday through till next Saturday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I think what we have to change is the mentality. I mean, I think it's changing too. The mentality of the traditional, very core traditional Victorian. They are like we have a show, permanent show in the government by the harbor. Some guy that is a very famous Canadian artist. At that time in the war, the contemporary art people was more advanced. You know, they say, yeah, there's different. I've been here about 2 years. So it's